All right, thanks for tuning in to Heavy. We're doing something a little bit different today. We've got with us the lovely Jake Fleming from Adelaide rock outfit Audio Rain, who have just released their second album, The Perfect Sea. So Heavy went through and did a bit of review on this album earlier today. So we're going to tell Jake what we thought. We're going to read it out track by track, and he's going to tell us if we're full of shit, if we're on the right track or not. So Jake, thanks for joining us.
Great to be here.
No
I'm
worries at
scared
all.
again.
So try and be nice to me, all right?
Well, only if you're nice to me.
Fair call. All right. So the way this works is I'm going to read through the review pretty much track by track. I'm going to
Mhm.
stop after every song, and you just give me your take on it and tell me if I'm on the right track. Basically, ready to go?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So Adelaide hard rockers Audio Rain have entered 2024 with renewed vigor on the back of their sign at X Music and hot on the heels of their crushing single Motorway, which was unleashed last November. Last in Line, Relentless, Breathe, and Crown have solidified the forward trajectory of Audio Rain, all of which, plus the single Angel, which came out earlier, are taken from the band's sophomore album, The Perfect Sea, which was released on May the 10th. Having been a massive fan of the band since hearing an earlier single, Betrayal, it is with a touch of anticipation I settle in to devour the full album, starting with the explicit version of Relentless. And let's be honest here, who doesn't like a cuss word or two as an introduction to a flesh slam of rock? Kicking off with some flamenco-style acoustic guitars, Audio Rain wastes little time dusting off the cobwebs as they settle into a hard-rocking number, gripping with attitude. Vocalist rhythm guitarist Jake Fleming has a familiar yet utterly engaging vocal aura about him, forcing his way into our sonic boundaries with a rock-drenched swagger that suggests the attitude isn't just part of the music. Bass player Ash Lovett lays down a solid and tough as fuck platform that allows lead guitarist Alec Dorinda and drummer Dieter Scholl ample space to attack their instruments, which take a sharp turn into heavier territory with a wicked vocal breakdown chanting Bullet in the Chamber that intensifies rapidly before the guitars get even meatier and tastier. Another acoustic-led mini breakdown eases things back ever so slightly before Fleming renews hostilities as the rest of the band plays joyfully with a fluctuating musical landscape that shifts from rock to hard rock to metal-infused intent with ease. Another breakdown, this time led by Scholl, entices a furious guitar solo from Dorinda that induces a fresh bout of hostilities from Flemings that carries Relentless through to a forceful conclusion that gives the indication Audio Rain aren't here to appease the masses. How's that?
That sounds perfect. I think you bloody nailed it. Yeah, no, that song definitely Relentless does go through a journey, and having the acoustic staff at the start, and there's a few different breakdowns, and definitely there's a lot of um, highs and lows in that song, both instrumentally and vocally. So yeah, that's pretty well basically it, man. You've bloody nailed it.
Wait. Now, the title track sweeps in next. A thunderous kick drum intro inviting a wash of guitars before pulling back markedly into an even-tempered and submissive track that rises and falls on the back of a steady swathe of menacing guitar riffs. It is an engaging number without grabbing you head on, instead utilizing a more rounded and accessible approach. While not a love song, there is definitely a sense of longing in the Perfect Sea's delivery, washing over stormy weather with its mast proudly upright and gentle winds billowing in its sails. If anything, this number showcases the vocal versatility of Fleming, offering a glimpse into the soothing side of his chops in direct contrast to the angst-riddled delivery of the opening track.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely that song, "The Perfect Sea." As I said, it's dedicated to the fans. It's an ode to them for sticking by us, and it's just, it's saying that we're there with you. You know, the energy created between a band and audience, it's a drug, and when we're playing live and the people are there for us, that is explosive. It's so good, and we're just all the same. We're on stage, we're on there, but we're all partying together. The Perfect Sea is about us and them doing it together. And in the lyrics, if you check it out, you'll hear that. And yeah, like the verses, yeah, they're pretty gentle, but that's just that was on purpose. We just want to tell a story. You're just on a smooth saying, just getting things ready, and all of a sudden, the storm is brewing. And so obviously, when the chorus comes, we're out there on the sea. We're all out there on the ship together, and it's all of us sailing and just getting out to the world. So yep, it's supposed to be that way. And obviously, at the course end gets hit, heavier and heavier again until it all comes out. It's a journey.
It's a jam. Now, Crown sleazes out of the speakers next before gaining momentum rapidly and taking on a more direct hard rock approach, complete with a catchy guitar hook that rumbles back and forth amid the forceful drum patterns and gravelly vocals. This is pure hard rock in all of its exemplary glory, and for mine is where Audio Rain are at their best, driving music with a contempt for regularity and conformity that oozes mayhem, just the way I like it. A tasty guitar solo midway through increases the sonic impact of Crown as it shifts gears with precision on an almost recurring loop until crashing to an end of almost violent proportions. Standout track for me so far.
Yeah, I do like Crown. It is a banger, and you're right. It probably is more like the betrayals and the pills. It's that straight, rock in your face song. The riff is catchy as fuck. It's just it's a cool rock track, in your face, man, and that's what it was supposed to be. But it's a good story. It's about and it's also pro women and just for them. And we actually we dropped this song. I think it was it might have been International Women's Day, because this song is about a girl that had big dreams, and there's a few other stories involved in this and that. But she had a dream, being a rock star, and I was just saying, and it doesn't have to be that. Everyone can relate and find their own way to make this song theirs. But it's just, don't give up, follow your dreams, do what you can, and so that needs a rockin' bloody track behind it.
Oh, yeah. Now, Angel is up next, and judging by the name, I'm already thinking we're about to come across the token album ballad. Shuffling drum intro has me questioning this notion, and the crunching guitars that spiral urgently offer more hope, but it is all in vain as everything backs off and Fleming stoods into action. While essentially a slower number, there are enough rough edges sporadically appearing to elevate it above the traditional love song, but it still fails to rise enough to keep me interested for the duration. Nothing personal, guys. I'm just not a fan of the love song. Sorry.
And that, what, that's cool too. But you're right though. Every album does need a love song. Everyone needs love. But
Maybe,
yeah,
even
an Angel is a love song, but we don't, if we're gonna do a love song, it's gonna have to have some big stuff in there. So that's why Angel. Sometimes I play, I go, geez, this is quite heavy. When you're live and you're playing it, it's got some balls behind it as it kicks in. But yeah, but and the same as Shining Light, which is very on the last album, very mellow, but then it just kicks in. So yeah, it's a love song, but it's a good song to get the old lighters out or phones out if you want now, and just let everyone have a bit of feel good time, and then we'll get back to the heavy stuff.
good time for me to go to the bar at the live show.
You might get a hug on the way from someone.
Nice. Okay, so Forgotten You quickly announces it isn't, as the name suggests, a 1-2 love song punch, as quickly established by screeching guitars and rapid-fire drumming that explode into a maelstrom of sonic disparity that reeks of contempt. Fleming adds more starch to his vocals here without losing his ability to elicit a plethora of emotions, which is not an easy thing to do. This is actually quite an angry song, and I find myself once more in a state of involuntary convulsions. Some would call it dancing, and the frenetic pace and balanced delivery that Audio Rain punctuate their music with. These guys know how to craft a song and allow each other enough space to showcase their individual talents without detracting from the essence of each song, a strength that only comes with hours of practice and dedication, which shines through in abundance already on The Perfect Sea.
Yep, that's definitely what Forgotten You is. Forgotten You is it's a very sort of angry song. It's and when I say angry, it's just it's intense, and it's full on. It's and that's a breakup song, definitely. Might say who it's about, or what? It's not me. But but yeah, it's definitely got some angst about it, and it's quite aggressive. But bloody makes for a cracking single.
Oh, yes, it does. Now, Breed stutters to life next with a cool as fuck bass run that leads into a fresh bout of hostilities between drums and guitar, which continues unabated as Fleming leads his track into calmer territory on the back of a comforting vocal delivery that breaches the boundaries of rock and hard rock sensibilities, just enough to sit somewhere in between. This one has radio written all over it. In fact, most of these songs so far wouldn't be able to place on commercial radio while still maintaining a rock edge that defies overall acceptance.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's I agree with that. Like, yeah, we're the sort of band, I suppose, we're that bit heavy sometimes for radio, and then maybe we're not heavy enough for some people, but that's the way you want to be. And you're right, I don't want to just play the safe card. We're not about that. We're about music, not trying to bloody hit the radio. If that happens, it does. But whatever. Yeah, we write for ourselves. Breathe is a pretty smooth, a smooth cruisy song, and I suppose rock and roll's a wild ride, and being an artist and that, in a band that comes with its ups and downs and vices and stuff. And I just wanted to try and reflect that in that song, about resetting, refocusing, and getting ourselves to the right level to go push forward, renewed and refreshed. And hopefully we've done that. Hopefully that comes across. If you watch the film clip, it'll probably explain it a bit more too. But yeah, just yeah, if that's how you feel about that, would you agree with that?
Yep. Well, that's the beauty about music, mate. It's open to interpretation. So,
Sure is.
and you're doing well so far.
Good.
Hey, Last in Line fires up courtesy of some precision drumming that suddenly gives way to a softer underbelly. It's another of the many rock tunes here that is unoffensive while still maintaining enough division to avoid being cast into unwanted sellout basket, which is actually a good point. Audio Rain are one of those bands that, with a slight shift in direction, could easily become the darlings of mainstream radio, but you get the feeling they don't want that. Or rather, they wouldn't sacrifice their morals enough to be in that position. It's a fine line, but one which Audio Rain sit firmly on the harder edge of, while still maintaining the ability to appeal to a wider audience by virtue of their affable nature.
Perfect. That's just what we're talking about. Yeah, yes, definitely. And actually, it's funny with Last Line because it's a real it's probably it's a slightly different song for us. But when you go at shows and just people commenting and letting us know, whether it be on YouTube or socials, it's amazing how out of all the songs that have dropped so far, the amount of different people have their favorite different songs, and they're all different. It blows my mind, because obviously they resonate and with a certain song or interpret it. Last in Line is a pretty serious song about mental health, and yeah, if you hear the delivery and listen to it, you'll understand. It's just that it's for the people, I suppose, that might know something but don't really understand. It's not something you snap out of. So that was a big song for us, and we had people just messaging us and coming to us saying that they really resonated with that song, and it really it's in deep with them, and they love it. So I love that fact that each song can be something big for someone. That's why you write them. You want to be able to give them something to listen to and to feel, as we all did. You had songs that just, when you had a certain emotion, that's the song you went to. So yeah, that's cool. I dig that.
Very cool. Okay. Motorway sets forth with a stuttering guitar riff punctuated by sporadic drum rolls that set the scene for a desolate and rough sonic terrain. As the guitars chug with a rock-infused sensibility, Fleming sets about easing us into the oral journey down said motorway without pushing the needle to red. Instead, this track purrs along like a well-oiled race car, weaving its way in and out of traffic as it builds steadily with a catchy chorus and casual harmonies. Then Audio Rain shift into overdrive courtesy of a mini breakdown that sees Dorinda attack his guitar with more ferocity as Scholl and Lovett both put their feet down, and suddenly we were in a sprint rather than a marathon. This track is Audio Rain's Grand Prix, shifting back and forth through the gears while showing enough restraint to leave enough in the tank to power to the finish line. Absolute cracker.
Would you get out of my head, man? No,
I did right, am I?
that is it. That's exactly it. And even when I hear it now, that's what's in my mind. However, the track, how we've rolled it out, that's what goes through my mind as well. And you're right. It gets to the bloody flat out bloody solos, and then comes back hard and just take you home. It's yeah, that's definitely that's how we feel about it. How I feel about it.
Now, Whisper could be another dreaded love song, but starts off with an intriguing wash of instrumentalization that is carried by a wholesome drum pattern underneath layered and fluctuating vocals that echo and bounce off themselves to create a whirlwind of emotions. This is a cool track that is different to anything else on the Perfect Sea, offering more proof, if any was needed, that Audio Rain still have a few sonic weapons at their disposal. The song seems to be telling a story or refereeing a personal war of sorts, with a constant barrage of purposeful guitar play adding an element of confusion that is as deliberate as it is engaging.
Yep, you've got a gift, my friend. You have nailed that one too. It's a turmoil, a war inside someone's head. And with Audio Rain, when we write stuff, sometimes it's me writing the riffs, or or it'll be Alec, or we'll put stuff together. Ash has brought a couple of songs into it, and this is one that Ash had, and we sort of rewrote and worked on. Well, we have put some different. I helped do a bit more with some of the lyrics, and we added some stuff with the music itself. And Ash sings the main vocals in this one, and I do the backup. So it is a different song for us again, and I think that just for a band, that's really cool, because it does give you that avenue to not have the same person writing and doing the same stuff. It gives you the chance to open up and expand your album, I suppose.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, final track, Gone, announces itself courtesy of acoustic guitar work void of purpose or intent, instead offering up a measured and subtle piece of vocal-led music that is made all the better for its emptiness. Some string instruments add greater effect, but Gone is primarily a vehicle for Fleming's softer persona, and a damn fine one at that. A ballad, you may ask? It could be construed as such, but given the power and impact created by a lack of amplified music on this number, I would have to give it a thumbs up. Hell, I even made it to the end, which is a rarity for a softer number. Perfect Sea has managed to create the perfect musical storm over its 10 tracks, showcasing a maturity and understanding of their craft that mirrors the recent rise of Audio Rain. Let's hope this propels the boys to even greater deserved heights.
Thank you so much for your compliments. It's beautiful. Yeah, love it. Yeah. Gone was just supposed to be like an MTV Unplugged sort of track, not too polished, just something from the old school days of Mr. Big Extreme or whatever. Just something different. Just to show that the diversity. These many bands have done it. I think Beatles have done it. So many people have done it. So we just wanted to add something like that on there. And it is I think it's a very diverse. I do agree. It's a very diverse album, and I love the way you put it. I'm just going to shut up because you put it so much better. So thanks. Love your review, man. You're honest. It's pretty on point.
Beautiful, man. And where can people get themselves a hold of a copy if they want one? I believe it's on vinyl, digital, and disc. So
sure is. It is. You can go to our Big Cartel store, official one, and that's on our pages, our socials. You'll find the links. The link is also on our website in the shop area. The vinyl that's out is a limited edition one. Once they go, it won't be that. There's a special translucent blue color. So that's the first run of that. So once they go, it'll be different. So if you want to get hold of one of those first run limited edition translucent blue vinyls, now's the time to do it.
I'm not even going to try and say that.
I'm surprised I said it.
You've done well. All right, Jake. Well, thanks very much for your time. The album, The Perfect Sea, is out now, and I'm not just pissing in your pockets. It's a fucking good album. So check it out on Spotify for free if you want to have a listen first, and then go and fork over your hard-earned cash and support Australian music.
Damn straight.